I have hit the road. Okay, now folks, I have hit the road. I have left Meyodhee Cholaha behind where Sariputra threw his sash and challenged Mahamauliana to pick it up. Now Zhang Zhang, after showing us Meyodhee Cholaha where this Sariputra challenged Mahamauliana to pick up his sash, Huen Tsang takes us to his next stop, which is the well from which the Buddha drew his own water. Now that well must have been important for Huen Tsang to go and visit and pay homage to that well. So, and that means that the Buddha, generally other people drew water for the Buddha, but from this well, the Buddha drew his own water. So this is very important, and the well's name is Agraura Dubaha. Agraura means himself. Agraura means himself. Himself whom? Himself, the Buddha. And Dubaha means to make a bucket sink in water. Dubaha means to make a bucket sink in water. So Agraura Dubaha means he himself made the bucket sink in the water. That is where the Buddha drew his own water, folks. So I'm on my way to Agraura Dubaha to pay homage to the well. Huen Tsang pays homage to. Of course, today it has been made new, sort of modernized. It has been renovated. They have plastered the outside of the bricks. So it looks like a new well, but the villagers told me this is the oldest well of the village of Agraura Dubaha. So check out what I have to say. Now folks, I have shown you all the places connected to your so-called Sravasti, which is actually Garethi. I've shown you King Pasenadi's preaching hall he made for the Buddha, that is Sigyan Sirpur. I've shown you Masi, which is the Sangrama King Pasenadi made for Mahaprajapati Gautami, the Buddha's aunt. And then I showed you Persona, which is the house of Sudatta, the Prime Minister of King Pasenadi's country. And then I showed you Sankalp Stupa, where this Daku Angulimala attacked the Buddha. Well, and then I showed you, your Jetavan, and then I showed you Nakawa, where the Buddha looked after the Sikh bhikshu who never looked after anyone. And then I showed you, Meyodhee Cholaha, where Sariputra threw his sash and challenged Mahamauliana to pick it up. Now, to prove all this is right, the next one proves it. That is Agraura Dubaha. Agraura Dubaha. See, this is very important because they have marked the well from which the water source, from which the Buddha he fetched his own water. The Buddha he fetched his own water. He would that is from a well, and that well is still there, folks, and it is hallowed. Agraura Dubaha. Agraura means a very important person, and Dubaha means Dubna means to put a bucket into water. To put a bucket into water. So that is where the Buddha put his bucket into water to draw his own water from that well. So folks, this proves that Meyodhee Cholaha is the place where Sariputra challenged the Mahamauliana to pick up his sash, and Pure Sitaram is your Jetavan. Galkada and Pura Sitaram is your Jetavan. So folks, check out what Zhang Zhang has to say about this, and then I'll show it to you in satellite pictures. And then of course you can see the pictures of the place itself, of the well itself, the well from which the Buddha drew his own water. Now let's see where Zhang Zhang takes us after he shows us the stupa where Sariputra challenged Mahamauliana to pick up his sash. Not far from the stupa just named, the stupa just named is Meyodhee Cholaha, where Sariputra challenged Mahamauliana to pick up his sash. Named is a well. Tathagat, when in the world, drew from the well for his personal use. Okay, now let's see where this well is. Not far from Meyodhee Cholaha stupa, where Sariputra challenged Mahamauliana. Meyodhee Cholaha is up here, and not far from it is a well, Agraura Dubaha, where the Buddha drew his own water. Agraura Dubaha. Agraura means himself. Agraura means himself. Who is himself? The Buddha. And Dubaha. Dubaha means to draw water from from a water source. Dubaha means to sink in a bucket. Dubaha means to sink in a bucket. So Agraura Dubaha means he himself sank in a bucket. That is the well from where the Buddha drew his own water. So folks, check out the pictures of this well. It is very important because the Buddha drew out water from it by himself. Now let's see what else Zhang has to show us. First, see the pictures of the well. Now that I have shown you what you see, those boys coming up. I'm standing on a stupa, on a very big stupa. This is Agraura Dubaha stupa. Agraura means what you call it. Agraura means to do something himself, to do something personally. Agraura means is a respectable way of saying he did something himself. Now, what did the Buddha do? He took out water from the well by himself. So, Agraura means he did it himself. He took out water himself. And Dubaha means to put a bucket. Sink a bucket in water. So he himself sank the bucket in water. That's the meaning of Agraura Dubaha. So this is undoubtedly the the well. You can see the well in the background. It is the well has been now plastered, etc. to give it a modern look. But it is an ancient well, and the villagers say it is the oldest. So this is the picture of Agraura Dubaha, where the Buddha drew his own well. Now this is very important because this is the stepping stone to find King Pasenadi's share of Buddha relics stupa. See, just the next stop Huen Tsang takes us after the well where the Buddha drew his own water is Pure Basti Gaderia. Gaderia means relics. Gaderia means relics. So basically, this Agraura Dubaha, the well where the Buddha drew his own water, is important for finding the King Pasenadi's share of Buddha relics stupa. So folks, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did so, don't forget to follow, like and subscribe to my page, Buddha Exhumed, and don't forget to tell your friends and relatives about this video.